guys, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. In this video I'm going to show you what I did with my 10-gallon. So I got everything except a little bit of jungle vel in the corner. I got everything out of the tank, all the plants, and now I'm going to do is vacuum the gravel thoroughly, and I'm going to do pretty much probably 60% water change on this tank. Maybe try to get some of this algae, this green algae off the glass. And I'm going to install the divider that I finally got. So let's work on this tank and make it awesome. I have my guppies here swimming around, being lovely. And here I finally got my larger divider. Now I still have to put it at an angle because if I use it the normal way, there is a bit of a gap and the bettas can get through. So this way, now Master Ball, the mustard gas male, can have this whole space for himself. I think it is much more of an adequate space than in the 5-gallon, 5.5. So, and it also blocks the current. So because he is a delta male, his fins are really long. And let me temporarily move the light a little closer here so you can see him. I don't want to have him in direct sunlight the whole time. I mean, lamplight. So I had it in such a way that it wouldn't be blaring on him, but as you can see, even though the current is strong and some of it does get through the divider does block most of it off, making it easier for him to swim. Now Mr. Bubbles, on the other hand, has shorter fins, and he has a much easier time making himself more aerodynamic when he swims, so it's a bit easier for him. So this guy is enjoying. Now the young guppies would probably be able to fit through here, which can be kind of a hassle, but luckily the big ones with the longer fins won't. I also put in some driftwood for him, as well as, I think this is a Ludwig plant. I forgot. I'm very bad at remembering plant names. But I have some driftwood, a plant in the back, a plant here, and I attached some Nana Anubis in here, also known as Dwarf Anubis, so he can rest if he wants to, but he also has this larger space on top to swim around if he needs to. This isn't a huge space, but for a male with such long fins, such as this Delta mustard gas, this is pretty ideal, and I think I'll be happy keeping him here. I moved Demon Betta out so I don't overcrowd this tank, but Mr. Bubbles is going to kind of enjoy hanging out with the guppies. I don't think I'm going to be adding any more fish here for a while. We'll see how it goes. But for now, I think it's at maximum capacity. The current is a bit strong, which the guppies don't seem to mind because it is like a river. But I did notice that with Mr. Bubbles, he doesn't seem to mind it a whole lot, because in the previous 5.5 gallon, where he used to be, even by himself, he used to nip at his fins and rip his own fins out of frustration, and that tank had almost zero water movement. It just had the bubble filter, and that he was still nipping at himself. Yet here the current is stronger, yet he stopped nipping his fins, and his fins are growing back. They're a pretty lovely color, so that is an indicator that he seems to enjoy this tank, even though the current is not that big. Now it depends on every betta. For example, this guy would not be able to deal with the current very well at all. So every betta is an individual. It depends on their fin types. Ideally, most bettas do not like a current. So if you're new or considering getting a betta, I think the best idea would be to get a very weak filter or muffle your filter. But in this case, things work out for me. Now I did move around my plants a bit, and my driftwood fell again. Let me fix that. Every video, it flops over. And then I always forget, and it stays flopped over. There we go. Actually, this might work. I could leave it like that. Yeah, I could flop over like this, because the Anubis is under it, and the Anubis doesn't need a whole ton of light. And this way you can see the Anubis sits on here, and it kind of blocks off this one. So, okay, we'll leave it like this. Oh, let me put the light back, too. I would like it a little more here. There we go. So I have my jungle val in the back, and the way I organized my plants is I didn't make an aquascape. I actually took all my baby plants and all my little cuttings and just spread them all around. This is kind of the formation that you do where you just want your plants to grow out and you want to breed more plants. So it's not really meant to look fancy in any way or impressive. It's just set up in a way that will be more ideal for my plants to grow. Of course, also the water is kind of dirty and it's got a lot of stuff in it because I did just clean it. But I think it's doing well. If I need to, I'll muffle it a little more for Mr. Bubbles, but he doesn't seem to mind it that much. So that is the update on my 10-gallon. So this is how the 5.5 gallon is looking temporarily. The water is dirty as well because I did some moving around. I moved one of the decorations over here from the 10-gallon because I thought this would be more appropriate. And the silver male is going to be living in here by himself now. I feel like with this, because this tank does have mystery snails, I want to keep only one Betta in here because that will be a lot easier for the filter to handle than it does well, and it's easier for me to maintain good water quality. So I figured that would be better. I also moved the light here because I used to use these furniture lights, which are good temporary lights if you're doing a lot of aquarium stuff. But the problem with them was that they were very yellow. This one is still somewhat yellow. This is more of a neutral color. So when I filmed this, the color is a bit better. It's not the ideal light because, as you can see, it only has a few lamps and not a lot. And they're kind of spaced out in a weird way. So it's not the best, but I think it'll be good for here because I do want my floating plants to get a good amount of light. And this does have a built-in, where is it? Built-in timer, which I need to fix, but what this does is this tank will turn on and off on its own, so I'll have to worry about algae problems since in the summer if I put the blinds up there is some natural light, so I do have to keep this at 8 hours because if I do more there will be algae. I am considering because I will be sticking some of my new plants, these plants, to some surfaces because they grow on rocks. I'm considering gluing them on top of here. Maybe, possibly. So it'll be like this cool layer of green growing on top of this. I'm not really sure. I think this is a good decoration for Bettas, by the way, because it's large and has a lot of round, safe edges. I just heard a noise from this tank. Oh, just bumped into this. So in this tank, what we have is Demon Betta is hanging out in here for now because I didn't want to overload the other tank with too many fish, so he's here since the guppies are another spot. We'll still figure out what to do with him. He doesn't seem to mind breeding containers, and whenever I keep them around other fish, his coloration really improves. As you can see, let me move the light. He is really becoming red, so this seems to work very well for him. So this is how this tank looks like at the moment. We moved this here because it has some sharp edges, which for long-finned males can be a problem. For these little females, it seems fine. And I'm going to order a second light because by itself, this light is not strong enough, in my opinion, to grow my plants properly. So we're going to get another one. And then, check out my new fishies. I got some, Betta's in the way. I got some freshwater dwarf puffers, also known as pea puffers. There's 2 of them. And currently they're in here as I'm growing out my tank because they are a little bit aggressive, and I do want to grow out these plants a bit more, make this more thickly planted, and this way they'll be able to swim around and be aggressive but not harass the females. I have a lot of snails in this container that I put in for them, so they have a good supply of food. They're really cute. They're really spunky. I believe there are both females, but I'm not sure. When I put them on the first day, they went right after all the females started nipping them. So, because this is such an open tank with a lot of open space right here, so we're gonna have to fix that for sure. My jungle val is starting to grow more. That's why I have the light back here originally, so it can have more light. And then over here, I have some endlers. You can't see them. There's a male and 2 females. Oh, you might be able to see one moving around. But they recently bred. I got them from the Cichlids Association. So there are babies hiding in there amongst the plants. The endlers have these nice split tails. You might be able to see. Yeah, there's the male right there. He's very pretty. It's hard to see, but, and then there's 2 females in there too. But it's hard to see, but they're really nice. Maybe if I move these guys out of the way, you'll be able to see. Yeah, there we go. So you see the male, and no one's pooping. And there's 2 females in there. I don't have a whole lot of room because I wanted to make it thickly planted in there so that the babies can hide. There's just a fake plant in there, but I'm breeding them, and once they grow out a bit, we're going to release them into this tank, and they will be good tank mates because endlers, they're kind of like guppies. A lot of people argue that they are related to guppies because they can breed with guppies. Some people say they're separate. They're from the same place, but they swim a lot faster because their fins are a bit shorter and more streamlined. So this makes them a lot better candidates to deal with my crazy little freshwater puffers, my little pea puffers. So that is the update. That's kind of what's happening right now. I still need to plant these plants. I'm going to make a video about that. I have snails in a heater that I'm growing out in this container, so I have a good supply for my pea puffer. But it's a mess. I've been rearranging things now that I got my divider for my tank finally that I wanted. So I've been rearranging things. I've been moving things around, organizing things, and yeah, that's kind of at the moment what is happening. I still don't know what I'm going to do with Demon Betta. I could put him back in there, but whenever I do, he tends to get kind of depressed. He does love flaring and getting excited over other fish, and the silver male seems to enjoy this tank because the current is very weak, and it's a decently large tank, but it's not too big. And he is a half moon, so his fins are very heavy, so he's not the best swimmer and does get tired fast, but I think he enjoys this space at the moment. It is a pretty nice tank for a male. So, by the way, if you have a male betta fish, this is kind of what you can set up as a bare minimum, and this is an easy tank. You don't have to do a lot to maintain it. You can get a different filter. You don't need a filter like this. You can get a normal ordinary filter and muffle it, so don't worry about that. But yeah, all my bettas are happy, healthy, and things are doing really well here. Oh, and by the way, this is Mouse Pig. As you can see, he's shaved over there. He had surgery, and I'm pet sitting him right now. He's recovering. See his stitches. He's recovering from his surgery, so if you would like to see him more, go check out my channel. It used to be called Creative Pink Unicorn, but now I renamed it to Creative Pet Vlogs. So you can go over there and subscribe if you want to see more of Banana, my cats, and I'm going to start vlogging about the fish on there more as well. So if you want even more fish and don't have enough of fish, or if I'm posting videos here about product reviews and other things and you want to get your weekly dose of fishies, definitely go to that channel and be sure to subscribe. I hope you have an awesome day, that you're happy, and that if you subscribe and want to not miss any of my videos, don't forget to click that little bell next to the subscribe button and select all notifications so you will be notified of all my videos. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.